It's a great pleasure to welcome to the program this week His Excellency Ambassador James Watt, the British Ambassador to Egypt. Thank you, sir, for joining us on the program. Congratulations. Tonight is a big night. London 2012 officially gets underway today with the opening ceremony. Over 10,000 athletes from 204 national Olympic committees. And this isn't the first time that London is hosting this big event, is it?
It isn't the first time, no. It's the third time, in fact. We did it in 1904, 1948, and now we're very proud to be doing it for the third time. I think we're the only city that has done it for 3 times. And as you say, we're very excited. This is today. In a few minutes, the opening ceremony will begin and we'll launch. Everything seems to be going well. There's a great atmosphere. The crowds are pouring in, and I think around the world there must be billions of viewers already tuned in to watch on television.
London defeated bids from Moscow, New York, Madrid and Paris. Why was London selected?
Well, I think our bid was very big in its conception of what we wanted the Games to be. We wanted it to be a truly international event, a global event, with the emphasis on people and on participation, really making it accessible, making everybody feel part of it, and also we're very keen to ensure that there's a legacy for the Games, that there'll be a whole series of programs which have already begun, which will continue the spirit of the London Olympics by encouraging sport and all the developmental benefits that come with sport through countries throughout the world, through a whole network of programs, of sponsorships. And so we hope that this will be a very special Games, not only in its universal scope, but also in what follows on after the Games have closed.
Well, it's taken an awful lot of preparation and considerable redevelopment, including, of course, the new Olympic Park at Stratford. Tell us more about that.
It was quite a challenge. Most projects like this do aim to reclaim or redevelop parts of a city, and in this case we took a particularly difficult part of the city and transformed it from a post-industrial wasteland, more or less, into a very modern and desirable park, 200 hectares, waterways flowing through it, beautiful new residential buildings built on it, and of course the Olympic event stadia themselves, the velodrome, the swimming event, the main stadium, are all spectacular buildings in their own right, but it has created a new focus in the east of London, around Stratford, which is going to benefit the wider development there.
Venues and infrastructure aside, I think public transport was one of the challenges. It was an element of the bid which scored poorly in the IOC's initial evaluation. How has that issue been resolved?
That's been resolved mostly by concentrating on ensuring a good road network, in addition to the greatly improved underground train network, the Jubilee line coming into Stratford, overground rail as well. We have dedicated lanes for Olympic traffic, the buses and cars which are being used by the Olympic family, and that seems to have gone well. It is very, very organized, and I believe the targets have all been met so far for getting people safely when they arrive at Heathrow to their camps and their accommodation, and we're now receiving hundreds of thousands of visitors, and that also seems to be going well. So cross fingers, it should be all right.
And I'm hearing that the athletes will take less than 20 minutes to get to their venues.
This is our target, yes, if all goes well.
The cost is staggering. The original budget of 2.4 billion sterling pound was increased almost fourfold to 9.3 billion. How was the money raised?
Well, this is, as you know, very, very big business. There are sponsorships, global singular sole sponsorships in different categories, with a cycle of the 4 years for each Olympic Games. And they run into the billions and billions of dollars, I'm thinking about $4 or $5 billion. Then there are the television rights, which are also huge. They part of those, of course, will remain with the companies concerned, but another part of it will come to the Olympic Committee itself, the London Olympic Committee. So we hope that quite a lot of the cost will be met by the sponsorship and by the television rights, but quite a lot of the cost, I'm sorry to say, will remain also for the British taxpayer to pay.
In any event of this scale, security is always an issue. How is London 2012 being secured?
Well, the site itself, the Olympic Park, was designed from the very beginning with security in mind. And it's not easy to describe exactly how it goes, but basically the very original design of the whole area, the whole 200 hectare area, requires a minimum amount of active security. But there is, of course, plenty of active security in addition to that, in terms of personnel and cameras, readiness to respond to different kinds of emergencies. There are, of course, huge numbers of people. 500,000 extra people will be in London for this event, plus all the political attention on the teams themselves. So we really need to get that right, and I think we will. We are prepared for practically everything, and let's hope it all goes well and there isn't any incident at all.
One last question, Ambassador Watt. The unsung heroes without which this event wouldn't be possible, the volunteers. 70,000 of them who are contributing 8 million volunteer hours during the Games. Tell us more about the role of the volunteers. What will they be doing exactly?
It is fabulous. I mean, I think this is, I mentioned at the beginning, we wanted people to feel they can participate in this, and people do as spectators but also as volunteers who come and give their time, give their energy, their sense of enthusiasm about the Games to make the atmosphere and to help everybody enjoy it, to avoid people getting lost or getting going down the wrong way or whatever. So we're just. I think it's going to be part of the atmosphere, the friendliness of London, the enthusiasm of the young volunteers, the naturalness of it. We talked about security earlier. The security we hope will be out of sight. What people will see is just friendly people helping them to find the right way and to make the whole thing run very smoothly. But it is a very popular event. It's involved the whole country. We think 9 million British people in Britain have seen the torch go by, the Olympic torch being carried in its long 70-day procession around the British Isles. And so that already has created a sense of involvement and connectivity with ordinary people, which is, I think, unbeatable.
Well, I'll let you go now, Ambassador Watt, because the countdown has started and the ceremony will begin any minute now. Thank you for joining us on the program this week.
Thank you very much, and I hope everybody enjoys the Games.